Hi guys, today we are going to make a watercolored card with this Kind Words bouquet. This is from Blue Knight Rubber Stamps. It is a red rubber cling stamp made here in the United States. When you order your stamps, this is how they come. They are already mounted to this colored laminate, very heavy duty piece. Their stamps are already mounted, so all you have to do is start stamping and coloring. And the sentiment is separate. The sentiment says, kind words are like honey. So beautiful, beautiful drawing of a flower bouquet there and some nice stamps. So I've already used some alcohol markers and colored this in previously. I put a little bit of glossy accents on my flowers there, but I think I want to do this again and we'll do a watercolor look to it. So I'm going to bring in my Tim Holtz stamping tool. This is on the rubber side, and I'm going to use some Tim Holtz Distress watercolor card, and I'm going to put it down so that the smooth side is up, so you have a textured side and then you have a smooth side. So because I'm going to be stamping on this, we're going to stamp on the smooth side. And I have a piece of sticky grid back there which keeps the stamp or the paper in place. I'm going to line up my bouquet right there in the middle. And I just like to use the magnets as a little extra there. In fact, let me put some washi tape on this magnet. I got this beautiful rainbow washi tape here. And I just like to put that on the magnet so it just makes it easier to pick them up. Hang a little tail off of the side of the tape there. There we go. All right, so that makes it at least easier. Okay, then I'm going to close my door. And I'm going to be inking up with Catherine Pooler's Midnight Black ink. This ink is archival. It is great for watercoloring, but also I like how juicy and black it is. And of course, I have my Blue Knight Rubber Stamps handle. The handle, you guys, is only $6.99. It fits into these oval ink pads, which would be like Altenew, Catherine Pooler, Spectrum Noir. And you just hold on to the handle and you don't have to worry about dropping your ink pad. I just set that down. That looks pretty good. I'm going to go in one more time. All right, that looks good. I'm going to clean my stamp and move it out of the way. I always clean up as I'm working because it just makes it easier to just kind of find everything and put it away, and I don't have to worry about bumping anything and getting it all over the desk. So by doing it this way, I know where my stamp is, I know where my stamping platform and all those things. So now I can put my platform away and I can focus on watercoloring. Now for watercoloring today, I am going to be using the Spectrum Noir sparkle pens. I think that they put down a lot of color. There's a lot of vibrancy to them. I have them stored in this old Tim Holtz marker case. I'm going to take the heat tool to this just to dry it, make sure that ink is set. Okay, and then I have paper towel and a water brush. And I think this should go by pretty easily. I think I'm going to start with the flower. I think for this flower, I'm going to make it pink. I'm going to start by putting a little water down first. This one, I don't know if I have the name, Shocking Pink. That's actually pretty nice. I'm going to go down with the marker, color in that spot where I've already laid down the water. and then take my water brush and pull that out to the ends. Same thing, gonna moisten the next petal. Go in with the marker. And these pens are pretty cool because not only do they lay marker or the color down, the pigment down, but they have shimmer or mica in them. So when this dries, it'll be nice and shimmery and pretty. I like to start towards the middle of the flower and work my way up, because then it adds the shadow into the petal for us. So if you were looking down at this petal, down inside the flower, the centers would be darker than the outside, right? So it adds all of that shadow for you. If my brush gets too wet, I just dab some of it off. So the good thing about watercolor is if it's too dark, you can just add more water and dab it off. And look there, I colored outside the lines. I just moisten that and then take a paper towel and lift it right out of the way. All right, I think that looks pretty good for that flower. And we have this small cluster up here. I think I'm going to do those in yellow. Now they're not very big, so I can probably just go in right with the marker and color those in. They're not very big, they don't take too much detail, so they're easy to do. Okay, simple. And we have a couple different kind of greens. So again, on the smaller ones, I'm just going to go right in with the marker and color those directly. This is called Green Pickle. It's a good name. Of course, you can use any watercolor markers or markers that you have. I just like to do the watercolor look every once in a while, because then when you send this card off to someone, they feel like you spent a lot of time watercoloring it. They don't really know that you colored it with markers, so it's just like it's a hack. It's an easy cheat. All right, I'm going to go in with a brighter green now. This one is called Forest Walk. I don't know if this is darker. Yeah, this looks a little darker, so I'm just going to do a little bit on this. Following the lines that the artist has drawn for us. Okay, and then I need to find a lighter green. Holly leaf. Okay, that's a much lighter green. And I'm going to go in and fill in like I would normally do if I were coloring. Much brighter green. Okay, and now I'll go in with my watercolor brush and just kind of take my time, again, adding that water and pulling it through wherever there should be green. If you have Tombow markers or Distress markers or Teza markers, or Ohuhu has watercolor markers, I mean pretty much any marker that's water activated, you can do the same technique. Okay, and that's it. Now I do want to add a little bit of a light blue kind of shadow, I guess, or background. Let me see here. It's going to be really, really light. This one's called Moonstone. I think this is going to be the lightest. Yeah. So I will just kind of trace around the image. Hope you guys can see that. It's very faint, very light blue. Again, go in with my water brush, make sure that we get in there and just drag that color out. I'm trying to be careful not to touch where I've already colored because I don't want that green blending out, or like that flower is pink. Just want to touch on the blue and kind of get that blue to blend out. So give us a soft shadow in the background. I'm not big on coloring, so an image like this is a nice size where it's not too much coloring. I don't have a lot of colors I have to worry about shading or mixing or shadowing or anything like that. I can just lay down some very basic colors. And these are easy. You can make a couple at a time and then save them and then put the sentiments on them as you need them. So this will be a nice get well card, a thinking of you card, maybe even a sympathy card. Could be a belated birthday card. So there's a couple different things you can do with a floral image. Thank you card. And then again, as I pull the color out, it'll lighten itself out as more water is added. It'll lighten up, but you still have that subtle sparkle in there. Get into these little areas here. And then as your marker dries out, if you just squeeze the barrel gently a couple times, it'll push more ink down into the tip, and then you'll have more color. So there you can see it's starting to come through. And we just want to continue to blend on that. So now we have this nice faux watercolor look with not very much effort or technical know-how. It's very easy to do. Again, these stamps are beautifully created by Blue Knight Rubber Stamps, so there's not a lot that you need to do except get out your color mediums and color. So there we go. So I will just let this dry. I'll stamp the sentiment on it and then put it on a card base and it will be done. So here you can see I did using alcohol markers on the left, and then the one on the right I did with watercoloring. So even though they're both colored, two different ways of coloring, let me know which one you prefer to do when you're making your cards. Do you prefer using alcohol markers or do you prefer doing watercoloring? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like this stamp set, you can go purchase yours at Blue Knight Rubber Stamps. Please go check them out. And the name of this stamp set is Kind Words Bouquet. Thanks so much for watching and keep on stamping. Bye-bye.